A match made in heaven. A determined Parvati began her penance, abstaining from food and only focusing on a chanting which earned her the name Aparna, or the girl who refuses to eat even a leaf. With each passing day, her tapasya became more and more severe until the entire world was aware of her meditation. Years passed, and Parvati grew powerful with the strength she obtained from her intense penance. In the meantime, Shiva came to learn about everything that had transpired, her devotion to him and his failure to notice her. He realized that she wasn't a mere mortal and decided to test her faith. Shiva approached Parvati disguised as a sannyasi, begging for food. Though she was deep in meditation, she sensed the sannyasi's presence and opened her eyes. A wave of peace and calm swept over Shiva. Parvati stared at him without realizing who he was, and then offered him all she had. Whilst receiving the alms, the ascetic asked, "Why are you performing this penance?" "It is for Shiva. I wish to marry him," she said simply. "But he is not worthy of you, my lady," said the ascetic. Shiva's dwelling is atop the cold and bleak Mount Kailash, and sometimes he is even found in cremation grounds. You are exquisite and refined, while his appearance is ghoulish. He smears ash on his body and uses skulls for garlands. You are delicate, while he is slovenly. You are sweet tempered, while Shiva is known for his wrath. He is no match for you. You should marry someone kind, handsome, and gentle, who can treat you the way you deserve to be treated. Take my sincere advice and end your penance. Go back to the life that you were meant to live. Parvati was furious at the sannyasi's words. "You came to me for food, and I have given you all that I can. It is time for you to be on your way. I know Shiva's soul. He does not care for fine clothes and ornaments. Why, he doesn't even care for grand rituals performed in his name. A devotee can offer him a leaf from a bale tree and some water, and he would be satisfied. He is the kindest of all the gods, and he always stands by the promises he makes to his followers. Regardless of who they are, I am sorry, but I do not need your guidance in this matter." Lord Shiva, however, paid no heed to her words. He continued, "But, my lady, what about the way he reduced poor Manmatha to a heap of ashes? Surely you can't approve of that." "I cannot listen to you any more, and if you won't leave, I will," Parvati retorted. Just as she turned to go, there was a flash of white light and Shiva appeared in his true form. "My dear Parvati," he said, "please forgive me for my harsh words. It is my loss that I was unaware of your presence earlier, but I can see you clearly now. You are Dakshayani, my beloved consort, and we belong together. We always have. Will you marry me and agree to be my companion for eternity?" Parvati smiled and nodded in assent. The whole world rejoiced when they heard the news, and the wedding, which was known as Girija Kalyana, was celebrated with much pomp and show. In time, a child was born to the couple, whom they named Kartikeya. He was also called Shanmukha because he had 6 faces, which meant that he could see problems approaching from anywhere. Kartikeya knew the purpose of his birth. While he was still a child, he fought the mighty Taraka with the support of the gods and eventually slew him using his most deadly weapon, Shakti. He also killed Taraka's 2 brothers. Simhamukan, who later became Parvati's mount, and Surapadman, who was reborn as the peacock that became Kartikeya's vehicle. News of his valor spread far and wide, and the gods eventually appointed him as commander of the heavenly army. Thus, Kartikeya's birth ended Taraka's cruel reign and saved the world.